Kia ora everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Tonight I thought that we would do a bread recipe. I love making bread because I think it's really quite therapeutic. And I wanted something, can you hear the grandkids up there? As long as they don't kill each other, I'm alright with that. So we just wanted something that we could have with dinner. And I thought that we would do a honey and rolled oats bread. Now when I told Brooke-Lyn this, she simulated gagging, but actually it's a really, really nice bread. Hey Brooke-Lyn, you were a little bit worried, weren't you? So I've got about 2 tablespoons of honey in here, and I've got a sachet of dried yeast. So that constitutes about maybe 2 tablespoons of dried yeast, which you can pick up from the shops. Don't forget to keep your yeast in the deep freeze. It keeps it for longer. So I've heard. I don't know whether it does, but I think it does. It makes me feel better about myself that I'm doing something like that. So I'm going to add this here because I only want a small loaf of bread. I just want it for dinner. So I'm making this first because I know it's going to take a little bit longer. It'll take about probably 15 minutes before it's ready, 50 minutes. So I'm going to let that bubble up for a few minutes and then get the rest of my ingredients ready, which are rolled oats and wholemeal flour today. Wholemeal flour. If you haven't got wholemeal flour, then just use plain. It's all good. But if you have, then use this. If you've got I've got the finer rolled oats. They're called milk oaties here, but just use what you got. Okay, so let me do this, and as soon as it starts to bubble up, then we'll add everything to it. We'll see you soon. Okay, you can see here it's just starting to react, and that's good enough. That's been about 5 minutes. If I left it for any longer, it would bubble up a bit more, but we're a little bit time pressed here. So I'm going to chuck in a cup of rolled oats there, and I'm going to put in enough wholemeal flour as I can to make a soft dough. There's the grandkids in the background. Now it might be a bit more for you, it might be a little bit less, because some flours are a little bit more absorbent than others. So I can give you the basic recipe and hopefully not leave anything out, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to add, that's 1 cup, and I need more. Two cups, and that should just about do, just to make a soft dough. So we don't want a sticky dough, we just want a soft dough. Okay, and I'm just going to give it a quick knead, and I'll get Brooke-Lyn to put it onto like some sort of speed dial thingy, and we'll go from there. Just to let you know that loaves of bread at the moment are like $4 in the shop. Okay, this would probably end up by costing you one of these, a 1.5 kilo bag of flour, costs about $2, and some rolled oats. It'll be minimum. It'll probably end up by costing you maybe $2, if that, for this loaf of bread, and it's probably way better for you than the ones that you get in the shops. Just throwing that out there. So I'll get Brooke-Lyn to put me onto speed dial, and I'll show you how I'm going to knead my bread really quickly. Okay, we're just going to do a super quick knead. Okay, see you soon. You can hear the birds in the background chirping, they're happy. That's because spring's almost here. Right, so here's my dough. See, I didn't knead it for very long at all. It was really just a process of bringing it all together. It was already oiled, so that should do. And probably not actually, I might just put a bit more oil around the bowl. And then I'm just going to pop this into the sink full of hand hot water. Okay, with the tea towel over it, and hopefully within half an hour it should be a lot bigger, just about double its size, and ready to go in the oven. So I'll see you soon, Right, this is my bread. Can you see underneath how it's got all the air bubbles and things like that? So that's the reaction that the yeast has had. So it's a little bit more dense than a plain loaf of bread, a white loaf of bread, but it'll be so nutty and good. So I'm not going to knead it now at the moment. I'm just going to sort of mold it, and in an ideal world I would have let it rise a little bit, but my family are hungry and they're going to be biting my legs soon, so I need to get this sorted. I've just got a little bit of plain flour down here, and I'm going to put a little bit more plain flour onto the board, if I can find it, just to stop it from sticking, just like that. And you could put this into a loaf tin, it would be perfectly fine, but for the sake of having it cook a little bit faster for dinner, I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, you could brush it with some milk and add some rolled oats on top if you wanted to, or pumpkin seeds, or hemp seeds, or anything like that. I think I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to let it sit for another 10 minutes, much to the dismay of my family who want it cooked, and then I'm going to put it into the oven. And I've got the oven on at 185 degrees on fan bake, and it should take maybe 15 minutes or so to cook, 15-20 minutes to cook. So I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. See you soon. Right, okay, our bread's come out of the oven. That took about 25 minutes to cook, which means that the natives here are really biting against the bit now. But it's a really beautiful bread. I ended up by doing a bit of an egg wash, which is, I had a little bit of egg yolk left from a couple of pavs that I made a couple of days ago for one of the grandkids' birthdays. And I just used like a spoonful of it with a little bit of milk and just brushed it on top so that I could stick my rolled oats to it. Okay, so that is our bread. Let me show you how good it looks. You ready? Ooh, that's hot. So it's nice and brown underneath. And oh, look at that. Ooh. Oh, that's my aria. How good does that look? So that is going to be our accompaniment to dinner. Okay, and that was dirt cheap to make, dirt cheap. Took a bit of time, so, you know, don't think that at 5 o'clock you're going to be starting something like this and have it ready for at 6 o'clock. You probably won't. You need to sort of do a little bit of preparation. So, hope you guys are well. Hope you guys take care of each other. Don't forget to save money for your food storage cupboard. And we'll see you soon, eh? Ka kite anō.